Welcome back. The news in details. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz held a joint press conference following the Pittsburgh dialogue on climate on Monday. President el-Sisi stressed on the significance of the climate dialogue and called for an international joint action to face the repercussions of climate change at all levels. The president pointed out to the strength of the Egyptian-German ties, illustrating the progress of the joint cooperation between both countries in various domains during the past period. El-Sisi pointed out that Egypt hosts COP27 amid challenges including food and energy crises as a result of COVID-19 and the war in Ukraine. The head of state also reviewed Egypt's new vision, which targets transformation into an economy of low emissions and increasing its renewable energy resources. For his part, Scholz welcomed Egypt's co-chairing for the Pittsburgh dialogue on climate and asserted his country's intention to enhance coordination and consultation with Egypt over several issues of mutual concern, including combating climate fire. He also asserted on the keenness on fostering relations with Egypt in all fields, especially in energy. Scholz also tackled the Ukrainian crisis and means of confronting its impacts on the global economy. President el-Sisi and the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz witnessed Pittsburgh Climate Dialogue high-level session. Addressing the session, Scholz said that Germany is targeting the transformation into green energy. Addressing the Pittsburgh Dialogue on climate, President el-Sisi hailed the German role in confronting the climate change.
Resources. He added that they should use clean energy resources, among them is green hydrogen, and should have new resources of energy supplies to continue development. He also reiterated that countries should do more to activate what has been agreed on to face climate change. Addressing the Petersburg Climate Dialogue, President el-Sisi hailed Germany's role in confronting climate change. He added that the Petersburg Climate Dialogue is an important step in facing climate change. President el-Sisi pointed out that Egypt hosts COP27 amid challenges, among them food and energy crises, as a result of COVID-19 and the war in Ukraine. He added that Egypt is targeting transformation into an economy of low emissions, pointing that climate change has become a threat for many countries in a way that necessitates implementing climate change agreements, among them the Paris Agreement on climate change. President el-Sisi also stressed the importance of international institutions' cooperation on climate change. He also said that food and energy crises increase the magnitude of challenges facing Africa, which already suffers from drought and desertification. He also mentioned that Egypt targets linking electricity with a number of countries in the region. He also added that Egypt was keen on taking active steps for transformation into a sustainable development figure that copes with protecting environment and confronting climate change. In addition, Egypt is carrying out huge efforts to raise the percentage of renewable energy resources.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi hailed the strong ties between Egypt and Germany and stressed the keenness on enhancing bilateral relations at all levels during the coming period through the joint partnership between both countries, including the military field. Presidential spokesman Bassam Radi said that President el-Sisi's remarks came during his meeting with the German Defense Minister Christine Lambrecht on Monday in Berlin. For her part, the German minister expressed her country's appreciation for the development which the Egyptian-German relations have recently witnessed and asserted the desire to boost cooperation in the security and military fields within the framework of joint cooperation, especially in combating terrorism and monitoring borders and illegal migration. She also praised Egypt's hospitality for more than 6 million refugees, providing them with their basic rights. Radi said that the meeting tackled the latest developments in a number of regional issues in the Middle East and east of the Mediterranean and means of continuing mutual coordination over these issues. Earlier, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi was received by the German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier at the Presidential Palace in Berlin. The two leaders, el-Sisi and Steinmeier, held talks on bilateral relations and means of boosting these relations, in addition to ways of coordination and consultation regarding a number of regional and international files. President Sisi also wrote a memorial message and signed in the Presidential Palace Honor Book. Senior officials from 40 countries were meeting on Monday in Berlin for talks on how to stay focused on fighting climate change. The closed-door talks in Berlin will kick off with experts delivering a presentation on the issue of loss and damage to ministers, who will then break into small groups to discuss and listen to each other in the hope of building trust ahead of the November UN summit in Sharm el-Sheikh. Organizers have billed the two-day gathering as an opportunity to rebuild trust between the rich and poor nations ahead of this year's UN climate summit in Egypt, after technical talks last month achieved little progress on key issues, such as climate aid for developing countries. Developing countries are still waiting for rich nations to provide $100 billion in climate aid each year, a target they were meant to reach by 2020. Welcome back. Egypt's stock indices collectively went up in the trading session on Monday after being affected by strong purchasing deals by investors. The benchmark EGX 30 index went up by 1.39%. The EGX 70 index for small and medium businesses also rose by 1.71%. And the broader EGX 100 index also climbed by 1.71%. After all indices jumped by strong purchasing deals of investors, the market capitalization gained 6.2 billion Egyptian pounds to close at 602.97 billion, and with transactions of about 3.5 billion pounds.